Welcome to George on Cars. Today, I've got an amazing video. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you want to buy a Gen 5 Toyota 4Runner. But before we get to the video, I want to remind you that if you're enjoying the content on the channel, I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, as it helps the channel get some visibility, and it only takes a second. And by the way, if there's any content you want to see on the channel, let me know in the comments section below, or send me an email at georgeoncars@gmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This guy just made a video telling us why we shouldn't buy a Gen 5 4Runner, and now he's going to tell us why we should. I realize I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here, but realistically speaking, the Gen 5 4Runner isn't for everyone, but depending on what type of vehicle you need and how you use it, it could be the right truck for you. After all, Toyota has sold several million of these things over the years, so you know they're doing something right. That being said, there's some really good reasons why you should get a Gen 5 4Runner. Let's find out what they are. The first reason you should get a Gen 5 4Runner is it will last forever. If you're the type of person that keeps your cars a long time, this just might be the vehicle for you. The V6 engine and the 5-speed automatic transmission have horrible fuel economy, but they've been around for ages and are proven to be very durable. The rest of the vehicle is also incredibly well built. I've driven this truck on some really rough roads, and even though the ride isn't great and you get jostled around a fair bit, this thing has no squeaks or rattles and never feels poorly assembled. It's as tight as a drum. There's also not a lot of high tech in this car that can break. It doesn't have a massive screen that controls everything, and if it breaks, you can't even turn on the radio. Simplicity here means long-term durability. Even if something does break, repairs are relatively cheap and the parts are readily available. Next up is, I think the resale on these things is going to remain strong. If you buy one and take care of it, I don't think you're going to suffer too much depreciation relative to other cars in the category. There seems to be a love affair in the used market for old Toyota trucks. Take a look at the used Toyota Land Cruisers, FJs, and the Lexus GX and LX models, and you're going to see that they command strong prices even with relatively high miles. If you get a Gen 5 4Runner, I highly recommend that you get the TRD Pro version and take good care of it. And I think when you go resell it, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I recommend the TRD Pro version even if you don't need all that capability, as I think those are going to be the models that command the best resale down the road. The next reason to get a Gen 5 4Runner is if you don't need or want a lot of nonsensical tech. I've spoken with a lot of people that actually hate the tech in new cars. There's no buttons, everything is done on a huge iPad-like screen in the middle of the dash, and the tech is hard to understand and use. Depending on the manufacturer, it doesn't always work great either and is prone to break. If you think replacing the controls in your AC or radio in the car from several years ago was expensive, wait until you get the bill to replace a huge iPad-like screen in your new SUV, which you're going to have to do because you won't be able to work the HVAC controls or the radio without it. Another reason to get a Gen 5 4Runner is if you need to go off-road, tow a boat or trailer, carry kayaks or canoes, or just want a capable all-weather vehicle, this thing is hard to beat. The 4Runner has decent towing capability, will get you pretty much anywhere you'd reasonably want to go, and is a great vehicle for people who have an active outdoor lifestyle. You can load this thing up with your bikes and kayaks, tow a decent-sized trailer or boat, and go out and enjoy the great outdoors. Now, you can say get a Bronco or a Wrangler, but they're a bit hardcore, don't have as much luggage capacity or interior space, and depending on what versions you get, they can't tow as much. That, and those vehicles have a much harsher highway ride and more interior noise. The final reason to get a Gen 5 4Runner is the interior is very comfortable. It's not fancy by any stretch of the imagination, but the front seats are really comfortable with good support, and you have excellent head, shoulder, hip, and leg room. You sit up high in this vehicle and have excellent all-around visibility too. The back seat is also very spacious for larger adults, and the seats were very comfortable for long rides. There's also a lot of luggage space when you use the 4Runner as a 5-passenger vehicle. I'm driving the 7-passenger version here, and the extra seats come in handy for short rides or taking young children around town. Oh yeah, one more thing. I absolutely love the power back window. Well, that's it. Those are 5 reasons I think you should buy a Gen 5 Toyota 4Runner. I've had this truck for over a week now, and it's definitely not for everyone. But if you buy it with the right expectations, I think you'll love it. Thanks for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.